What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Photoshop. This is ASAR Studio. I'm going to be teaching you how to retouch your images. Alright, so let's get started. The first thing, you might think that we have a lot to do in this image. Well, I guess not. We have less things to do. The main thing we need to do is to work on the exposure and the skin color. So that was what I'm going to be focusing this video on, so as to get the image to look proper and look nice to the eyes. So I'm not going to be using the adjustment layer, which is the exposure, this brightness and contrast here, because what we're dealing with has to do with highlights and shadows. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and go to the camera raw filter, because we're going to be focusing on the highlight slider and the black and the white and the shadows, so as to get the image. Now if you check the histogram, you're going to see that it's actually towards the right hand side, and the dynamic is very big compared to the darker and the shadow side right here. So we need to adjust the highlight. So let's go to the basic panel, and we're going to decrease the white. So you can see that it's pushing the histogram backwards, or you take the highlight and bring it back, whichever one. Now this is the one we're going to use. Now let me tell you the difference. The difference is that when you push the white, you're still going to see this peak. So if I take the white back, the peak is still there, but it's just trying to balance the histogram, and you see you lose the image start to flatten out. Okay, so we're going to use the highlights to bring the highlight down a bit, somewhere around in the middle, and bring down the white, so you can see that this sharp edge is going down, and you start seeing details on the white clothes she's putting on. So I'm going to bring it back a bit, and let's see where's the sweet spot. Okay, so you can as well maneuver the exposure. Now I'll leave it here. Okay, so let's bring up the shadows. The more I'm going to take the shadows up and bring down the black, and this is going to give it some tension. So I'm just quickly going to do some color correction with the color mixer. I want the yellow to look more like the red, so I'm going to take the yellow towards the red and take the orange towards the red as well, so you can see the uniformity in color. Or you can do it the other way around. Let's make the red look like the yellow, but we're going to remove it from the lips. Well, so if we make the red look like the yellow and make the orange look like the yellow, you're going to have this yellow skin. And the yellow, we're just going to leave the yellow and bring it back a bit to reset that. Go to the saturation of this side of the red, and if you bump it up, it's still going to affect the skin tone. So I'm going to leave it and then increase the saturation of the yellow. So this should do. Let's see a before, and then a after. So let's hit OK on the keyboard. So now that we have this, to avoid, oh, we didn't duplicate the later, let's just continue. Okay, so now we're going to be doing frequency separation to, blend the skin texture and the skin tone. So Ctrl J twice, and then name this color, hit enter, name this texture. So let me quickly perform the frequency separation, and I'll come back and show you what I did. Alright, so this frequency separation, group it together, and before and after frequency separation. I'm going to zoom in before and after frequency separation. Alright, this is where you start doing your dodging and burning, and also you color grade and do the rest. So I'm just going to grab the exposure to give it more depth. So this is how to work with the exposure to increase the gamma, and it's just going to make the image more pronounced, and you can start doing your dodging and burning. So once again, thank you guys for staying tuned. Thank you for helping the channel grow. If you're new to the channel, kindly subscribe. If you like the video, let me know in the comments section. And one more thing I like doing, I like color grading and adding more vibrance. So let's add vibrance to the image and something like this. Alright guys, we'll see you in our next video. See you in our next video. Screw this time visible layer. and do the before and after before we go. So this is before, and then this is after.